Label Radio.
We got the OG Big Gipp in the building.
What's up, King? How you doing?
Man, I am chilling, man. You know, last time we sat down was, 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, 3-4 years ago, man. You was over on the other side of Hollywood then. You was in Hollywood.
Exactly.
You went downtown.
I was in somebody else's building.
Hey.
Now I'm in my own spot.
Hey, man.
You know?
Growth is everything.
Ain't nothing like having your own, right?
Hey, man. I tell people that all the time, man. Put your own work in so can't nobody say they gave it to you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So I appreciate you coming through. And what I'm going to do right now, before we get deep into the interview, I'm going to play a joint right now. I'm going to take it way back.
All right.
I'm going to take it way back. And you probably, maybe you listen to this song still, but maybe not so much. I want to say it's 1993. Let's get into it. Let's get into Public Advisory, Dope Stories.
Hey, man. Me and Pimp.
Yes, sir. Let's get into it. White Label Radio. Come on.
Oh, man.
Parental Advisory, Dope Stories, featuring the late, great Pimp.
Hey.
Yo, so when you hear that song, I see you lit up and smile like crazy. What memories does that song bring back?
Well, first of all, people got to understand that Organized Noise, Parental Advisory, Reese, Mello, KP, they were the first ones. They were the first ones to crack being able to get a professional deal in our crew. That was with the relationship that KP had with Pebbles. People don't understand that Pebbles label was the first label to hit Atlanta, and they was the first ones. They're actually the persons or the people that the first person that Pebbles met was Sleepy.
Oh wow!
So Sleepy and KP was already kind of really hanging with Pebbles and doing stuff with Pebbles during that time, and that's how we got Parental Advisory signed. And you know, like at that same time, you know, we was working on Outkast record. Outkast was on the floor. Goodie Mob was on the floor. And I just remember that with them getting the first time, they was getting a budget. And they was at this studio called Doppler. And I just remember like at that time, you know, you couldn't even go in the studios. We would go to the studio with Organized Noise. And Goodie Mob, we would just stay outside and listen to beats and write rhymes all day. And, you know, at that time also, we was trying to figure out a way how to kind of break Outkast.
Yeah.
So like if you go and do a little history, you'll see that Outkast was first debuted on a remix from Parental Advisory.
Oh, really?
That's how we snuck them in.
Okay.
And from using that's how LA heard about them, and that's how the conversation started about them being able to come over to LaFace.
Really?
Because Pebbles was playing it in the house and LA heard it.
Oh, that's crazy.
You know what I mean? So
that's crazy.
That was kind of like the first person to really turn ATL on was Pebbles.
And she don't get that much credit for that.
Yeah, but that would be also kind of like having to share the spotlight with your husband, which created LaFace right beside you in the same house.
That's true. That's
you know
true.
what I mean? So
yeah.
it was kind of like the divorce was the check to get out the way.
That's crazy. So on that song, the late great Pimp C was on there as well too.
Yeah, man. Like what was so funny is these are like the first few months that we kind of met Bun and Pimp. It was like one day we was just at the dungeon and they pulled up at the dungeon with Pimp C Mama driving.
Oh, really?
And from there, that's how we started our relationship. And you know, they was like, yo, we working on Parental Advisory. Pimp, when you get on something, and since my relationship with Pimp was so good, Pimp was like, I do it. You know, so people don't understand, man. Pimp was the first one to really jump down with the Dungeon family before people even knew it was a Dungeon family.
Really?
Pimp C.
That's crazy. And that song that you guys are all together in the studio recording this song?
Yeah. We all, you know, that's the old school back then. You only got one shot to go. You know what I mean? Everybody, we could only pay for, you know, everybody was on tape then, and it was like an hour was an hour.
Yeah. It wasn't no wasting no time because there was money on there. It was like.
And at that time, you know, you just wanted to make sure that if you was called, you was ready. And for that song, Dope Stories, I mean, you know, KP and Reese and Mello, they made the right decision by putting Gipp and Pimp C on the record together, and that was the first record that we ever recorded together.
And did you write your rhyme on the spot, or you already had that rhyme already written?
I wrote it on the spot.
You did?
Yeah, you know, we was young and dumb then. That's when we had everything. You know, when you young like that, and you trying to fight to get into position, you know what I mean? Like you very much got to stay ready.
Yeah,
you know
of course.
What I mean? So we stayed ready because, you know, even at that time, Outkast wasn't already all the way ready yet.
Yeah,
you know, they were still the youngins. So, you know, as far as me representing for Goodie Mob and Pimp representing for PA, Houston, you know what I mean? It was a dope collage of just different styles. Because if you listen to all four people on the track, it's 4 different styles.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is. Like, but it went so well
because we kind of we was partying to PA. We was partying to them, and they was very much they were strong in how we came about doing music. It was about what Texas was doing, how Pimp C. What you gotta understand about Pimp C is that when we lost Pimp C, we lost a sound. You gotta understand that Pimp was the only producer that produced with the organ.
Oh wow.
If you listen to his songs, that's why it was always organs, because he came from the church.
The church, yeah, that makes sense.
So
yeah,
you got to remember, if once Pimp C stopped, it wasn't no more Pimp C. You haven't heard the organ since Pimp C.
Wow, I'm gonna have to go back and kind of really study that, because I never.
It's his sound. That's why it was so different.
Wow, I didn't know that. It's crazy.
If you think about it right now, what other producers you can really name from Texas?
Producers from Texas. Michael 5,000 Watts.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Okay. That's it.
I'm about to say it's not
like even with Watts, he was a DJ.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
I mean?
Exactly.
So,
Yep.
But Pimp actually put them fingers on the chord.
Okay.
He actually did that. You know what I mean? So
I'm about to go back and really study his production now.
That's what people don't understand. We missing a whole sound out the South because of his fingers.
That's true. And let's get into another song. I'm digging in the crates. I'm gonna play another joint, and then we're gonna talk about this joint right here.
All right.
So let's get into "Keep You Chillin' Out the Streets." White Label Radio, come on, y'all.
Yeah. I'm out.
Yeah.
He said you get sipped.
Like that coffee out of Waffle House.
So now, question.
Yeah.
Was that R. Kelly diss?
That was the first R. Kelly diss that I think was first recorded. That was the first one ever recorded. And I you know, it's a trip that when I recorded the record, it was because of a conversation that I had with my homie, and it was almost like, yo, my homie flew to Miami to meet with him and to go in the studio with him, and he wanted to go to the club first. And I remember when my homeboy called me, he was just like, yo, Gipp, like, dude, with some little girls, man. Some little girls, man. They got tennis shoes on in the club.
Really?
And you know, like,
yeah,
it's always been an industry secret.
Okay.
It's always been people that know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So what made you want to record that song?
Because I've never been a person or an advocate of messing with younger minds. You know what I mean? I understand where he come from. I understand his mindset. You know what I mean? So he from Chicago. He from the city of the pimp.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what most of the time it's about that, and most of the time it's just about taking advantage of a younger mind. And you know, from what we stand for and how we stand for in the South, man, that was just something that I just took real kind of like personal. I took a personal approach to it because, and I never said his name, but people knew what I was talking about. But I feel like this, you can't say that where he is today. I mean, if I wasn't talking the truth, then why is he sitting in the cell right now about the same stuff I was talking about almost 15 years ago?
That's true. And did you ever come across this path? Y'all
oh, he know. He always
y'all had words?
He always, because he know what type of dude I am. You have words with me, you better be ready to go all the way, because whatever I speak on is the truth. Yeah. Now, if you don't want me to speak on it, you shouldn't be doing it.
That's true.
And maybe back then, when people was looking at me like, yo, Gipp, you shouldn't have said that. Well, look at it now. You shouldn't have said it. But see, that's where we are as a culture.
Yeah.
It's almost like when you point out wrong, people say, nah, you can't do that because we making money with them right now.
Yeah.
So that's where the line.
So people sell their soul for a check.
Come on, man. That man had plenty of help from years, from the labels, the people that work for him, from managers. Everybody helped that man do it, pull off this stuff that he did.
Yeah, true.
So at the end of the day, for us as just grown men at this point, they got daughters, got younger kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he right just because he R. Kelly?
No.
Okay then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so that's where hip hop right now, for me, that's what hip hop is And that's what hip hop is losing because we all going corporate. So with us all going corporate and chasing the bag and hooking up with these big corporate brands, hey man, ain't nobody want to tell the truth no more. That's why you getting the same music from everybody.
So, and it's funny because it's a lack of diversity in the music now.
Come on, man.
Because before, when you guys came out in '95, there was a diversity. You can see MC Hammer doing his corporate thing,
Come on.
and then you can see Goodie Mob and then Mob Deep and then Ice Cube. You've seen a diversity, Brand Nubian,
yeah,
all that stuff.
It's not like that anymore. Everybody want the bag, and if everybody want to jump up and have arena looks, then they have to come up with those kind of songs, and they have to carry themselves in that way. You know what I mean? I just will be always a renegade, man.
Yeah.
I come from a renegade situation. I come from a place where we were not accepted.
Yeah.
We were not accepted. So for me to bow down or for me to care about anybody who got more money than me or do this, I mean, I don't care nothing about none of that. Because at the end of the day, man, I'm from the era of truth, where everybody was telling the truth.
Yeah.
Now, if you think about the music right now, it's not from these eras. The music is not telling you what's going on in the street. It's ass backwards.
That's true.
Hip-hop talked always about what's going on in the street. Right now, you'll just think we all rich and high.
It was the ghetto CNN back in the days, right?
I mean, we rich and high right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go from the Instagram to what you see as being the norm, if you don't have a neck full of diamonds and your hands ain't this and that, and you're not speaking a certain thing, then you're not popular. And to what the way I would prove that to you is, as big as Kendrick is, he's not as big as Young Thug. As big as
commercially, right? Yeah.
Commercially,
yeah.
I mean, if you put Kendrick in a room with all these kids from Atlanta, you wouldn't even see him.
Yeah.
Don't matter how good he is.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about. I come from an era where it wasn't even about what you got on. It's about what you're talking about.
That's
and
true.
now we're in the era about what you got on,
Yeah.
not what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So it's just
No substance at all.
I'm just being honest.
Nah, it's the truth.
You know what I mean? So when I look at that, I'm like, you think about it, it's like, if you was a fan of what I was always a fan of, I was just always a fan of a complete thought.
Yeah.
I was never a fan of different thoughts. I think that I'm gonna tell you how what I mean by that. I think Lil Wayne was the first one to master just throwing thoughts everywhere and it matching and it matching and but always having a great hook to set to end all those different thoughts. But if you think about from the era that I came in, everything was a complete thought.
Yeah.
If you thought 36 Chambers, that was a complete thought. You know, everything about hip hop was always about standing and being different. But now it's like people just want to follow people because they got some money.
So now you talking about Lil Wayne and the thought process. Wasn't 3000 the same way, kind of like he did thoughts here and there and kind of bridged them together with harmonies?
Yeah.
Outkast was kind of
they're always that. But see, you still coming from Dre, who was sitting up under Big Rude.
Yeah.
Still got to be substance.
It was some substance to it, regardless of how.
And Dre put the poetry on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Big Rude was the substance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the difference. That was because we were rappers that read.
Yeah.
Do these rappers read?
No.
Okay. Then.
They don't. I don't think so. I don't think so.
I mean, you know what I mean? If I ain't seen one rapper yet take a picture with a book. You know what I mean?
All our old school rappers have books in their photos, right?
And like one of the little young dudes told me, he said, yo, man, the old school dude, man, y'all got to start learning how to use Google. Cause y'all facts be off a little bit. I was like, our facts be off a little bit, but at the end of the day, these facts are it's a lot of fabrication.
Yeah.
in this new era, like, how can a person do 30-something billion streams, but then really never sold 100,000 hard copies?
Because there's no substance.
And the whole system fake.
Yeah.
It's about who they messing with at the top and who's sending the money.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, back in the day when you said a record was hot, you could walk outside this building and somebody would drive by with that record in the car.
Playing in the car.
You don't even what? It's been 3-4 #1 records in the last 3-4 weeks, and I ain't heard no record.
You've been out and about, ain't heard nothing. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because you would hear Snoop Dogg playing in the car. You would hear Mobb Deep playing in the car. You would hear it playing in the car.
You don't hear it no more.
No, you don't.
I mean, I say this too. Be honest. I've been in LA for 5 years, right? I ain't been living in LA for off and on for 15 years, right?
Yeah.
Well, nobody playing Nipsey Hussle record like they doing now.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true. Not the way they playing it now.
All right. He got more love in Atlanta than he did in LA.
He would probably tell you that if he was live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he would be at the studio, at DJ Drama Studio, and he would be sitting in the room and kicking it with Organized Noise, and everybody treated him like he was already had a platinum record and everything, but he was like, man, I don't get this love at home.
Yeah.
So when I watch this shit that's going on, I'm just like, this shit fake.
But I felt the same way because it's funny, and I won't name any names, but I had an artist cancel on me to do an interview, and I'm like, and I see on Instagram that he taking a selfie in front of Nipsey Hussle's store with the flowers and whatnot. I'm like, well, you probably you didn't know this man.
That's what
you probably can't even name his albums. You just want to be there because it's the social thing to do right now.
And that's the shit that get me about hip hop right now, man.
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough to watch, especially being a connoisseur and a love of the game or whatever. But I have a question for you guys. So, like the R. Kelly song, you did that way before your time.
Yeah.
As far as, and you, Goodie Mob, has always been guys that kind of said some things, and then 20 years later, they come to fruition for the most part. And when you guys recorded Soul Food, how old were you?
21. It was
So
probably
at
2021. CeeLo was like 17.
How was it possible for you guys to be 21 and be so visionary? You know what I'm saying? The cell therapy, like, you know, saying no more fishing for your fish. The you know, microchips in your all that stuff is coming to light right now. Mm-hmm. How was it possible you guys to be visionaries at 21 years old?
Well, it was because, first of all, Organized Noise was up at Dart one day, and they was in the studio, and Busta Rhymes was in the other studio, and Busta Rhymes was in the studio with cousin Rampage, and they was working on Rampage album. And I mean, when Busta Rhymes came out and he gave Organized Noise like, yo, man, like, guys, I got this book, and I want y'all to read this knowledge. And he gave it to Rube.
Yeah.
Rube started reading it in the studio. He was like, oh, go on, take it home. When Rube brought the book home, Rube read the book the first night. Mm-hmm. Then he was like, when he woke up in the morning, he was like, yo, y'all got to read this.
What was the book called?
Behold of the Pale Horse.
Okay.
That's what cell therapy comes from.
Really?
That one book.
That one book.
With us all reading that book and then going and recording our verses from our interpretation of that book.
Really?
That's how cell therapy came.
And is it crazy for you to see, like, you guys rap that? Did you think that it was going to come to light this soon? Like, this is 20 years, 25 years later, and a lot of the stuff you guys are talking about is actually at our doorstep right now.
Yeah. I feel like we were given that book, and what we said on that song and the way that record came out. See, what people don't understand either is that Cell Therapy was the last record we recorded for Soul Food.
I heard that.
So
that in Dirty South, right?
Yeah. So at the end of the day, for us, like, it was about making sure that we had a record that explained what was going on in our life right now, and it was really all about that book, Behold of the Pale Horse, because we wanted. One thing that we was trying to do is make sure that our record made it to New York. And one thing that everybody wanted to do at that time was make it to New York and to be accepted by New York because of your knowledge.
That's
and
true.
Because of your lyricism.
Because during that time, all the New York MCs were knowledgeable. Even Busta Rhymes, he did the party and stuff like that, but he always spit that knowledge in there. He had those songs, Brand Nubian, Rock Him. Even Big Daddy Kane, you know what I'm saying? He would dance around and do the splits and do his thing, but he was knowledge himself.
And I think that was our way of feeling like, if New York gonna like any record, they gonna like this one, because to us, that beat came off raw like Ja Rule the Damager first song.
Yes, it is.
Like, that's what it was to us. We was like, oh, we got us one of them hip hop raw. It ain't number 3-4 sounds. So that was the great part about it. Like, we just felt like we had that beat that New York would listen to. It felt
Yeah.
like train, like we on the A train with this one. So I mean, we thought we had the perfect marriage.
And was is Cell Therapy one of your favorite songs off the album?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite because at the end of the day, to come in the game with knowledge like that,
Yeah.
and for it to sell,
Yeah.
man, that's bigger than anybody coming in the game with a party record. If you can make knowledge sell, man, that's
Because you can make anybody dance with a groove.
Yeah.
It's just a cool groove. It's gonna dance, but to sell and you actually kicking and saying something.
only people. I mean, we always wanted to have that record like Fight the Power, like Public Enemy, like that was our Fight the Power for the album, because we felt like we had knowledge of self in it, like we could speak on it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
for all that stuff to come true, it only shows us that we were sent here to do what we do.
Yeah. You was on a mission. It was destiny.
What everybody else doing at this point? See, I look at this like this. We came in talking this, what a lot of people right now are kind of involving themselves in social change and all that.
Yeah.
Bro, we took the black ball for it when everybody was talking about the diamonds and the girls and this, that. And for me to watch it now when you filthy rich, and I mean, I'm like, okay. I mean, but that's because you friends with them people now. You made them people that money. So you good. You know what I mean? But to me, if you look at it, real revolutionaries are never celebrated until they die.
That's true. That's
So
true.
that's cool. Once
But you
understand-
celebrated right now. We giving you your flowers right now.
Yeah, but see, you got to look at it. I've always took it like that because I never strived to be the number one rapper. I never wanted to be the biggest drug dealer. I never wanted to be. All I wanted to do was make sure that people understood, they heard the South, and that we told the truth.
That's real.
That's all.
Let's get into Cell Therapy. Since we talk about it, let's get into it, man. One of the illest Goodie Mob songs ever. That beat is so cold, man. White Label Radio. Drop that shit. Soul Sunday.
Soul Sunday.
You said it's one of your favorite songs, right?
One of my favorite songs, man.
Why?
Yeah, because it's a true statement. Like anybody can get it on Soul Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anybody can get it. And then Soul Sunday, at the end of the day, it's like Sunday is the day that you reflect on what you're doing to make sure that your soul's saved.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's really what it means.
That's dope. And I have a question for you. Recently, or not too recently, but a while back, Jermaine Dupri said he was more influential to Atlanta than Outkast. How do you feel about that statement?
It's a toss up, man, because it's about what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Because
break it down for me.
At the end of the day, like you never knew Jermaine was from Atlanta until like after we came out. Like you got to look at it. I knew Jermaine was from Atlanta because I knew Jermaine. You know what I mean?
So you saying the world didn't know
but
Jermaine was from Atlanta until after
they knew Jermaine, but I'm saying like when you looked at the groups that Jermaine that was big at the time, Crisscross did not look like Atlanta. Crisscross was sounding like a West Coast group, just like Brat came out saying Funktified. That was copying Snoop Dogg and what was going on at Death Row.
I've been saying that, and it was a whole beef behind that because she took Snoop Dogg's whole entire style.
Okay, so at the end of the day, when you say that when your first presentations that really hit the world, were they representative of Atlanta? Now, if you put Crisscross first album, Brat first album, and Outkast album right next to each other, which one we're talking about Atlanta?
Outkast all day long.
Okay, then I don't know what you're talking about. You were great because you was able to be a producer and you was able to be able to produce bigger acts at that time. But at the same time too, it's about what you're talking about. Like when I look at that's why I see the confusion with us and the West Coast. See, even though Snoop and everybody and Death Row, even though they our peers, In Atlanta, we Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, Ren, Yella. That's who we are.
Yeah.
Y'all was under already a situation, already a set look of West Coast. We created.
You saying you guys were the forefathers of the movement that is now. I mean, we were and then Snoop Dogg and those dudes were the second generation of the forefathers.
In LA?
Yeah, in LA. Yeah.
Because who could be bigger than NWA?
Or Ice Cube, or Ice-T.
Who could be bigger than that? Who could be bigger than that?
Yeah.
And if you look at my crew, I mean, we got a Dr. Dre, we got Organized Noise.
Yeah.
I mean, CeeLo is who from it could match CeeLo's just his.
Yeah.
Okay, who could match Dre? I mean, that's our Dre and Cube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm Ren. I'm me and Cujo and Timo, we the other ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so for me personally, when you look at it, it's like that's why it's a disconnect, because even though Snoop them are our peers out here, they gonna always have to look up to that NWA. They gonna always have to look up to Cube. You always gotta look up to NWA.
Yeah.
Well, with us, it ain't nobody to look up.
Yeah.
We Mount Rushmore.
You at the top of the peak.
So it's a difference when it comes to us.
Yeah.
In Atlanta, it's just a difference on that side. We are the first line that was created that everybody seen. Jermaine, you was the dude that was stood by little kid. There were 2 little kids that you were standing by. They were not representing the culture of Atlanta.
Yeah.
They had their clothes on backwards. No other kids walked around with their clothes on backwards in Atlanta.
So that wasn't a thing in Atlanta?
No.
Okay.
That was a thing.
That was their thing.
That was their thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Outkast didn't look like that when you seen Outkast. He had a Kango on with his shirt off.
Yeah.
That's how we looked in the hood.
Okay.
Riding Cadillacs.
Okay.
Jermaine didn't have Cadillacs.
So
you know what I mean? I look at it like this. The NFL situation, that was us first. You know they wanted us to do that first.
Speak on it. What you mean?
As far as the NFL, the shows, all that stuff that went on in Atlanta, it came to Outkast first. Of course they wanted Outkast to be, of course. And of course they wanted Outkast to perform at the Super Bowl.
Atlanta, Outkast is Atlanta, so when you think of that,
So at the end of the day, yes, Jermaine was able to step in there, but understand that was by default. Because 3,000 don't like the attention.
Yeah.
So just imagine if our 3,000 was like Jay-Z. Would it be as much, would it be so much who's number 1 and number 2 at the top? Would it be just so, it wouldn't be like that,
No, it
would it?
wouldn't.
Okay, and then at the end of the day, when they try and say, well, he's the first billionaire. Well, damn, what happened to Dr. Dre? Y'all just gonna act like Dr. Dre ain't here?
Well, technically, I guess Dr. Dre only made $990 million. He didn't hit the whole billion.
Yeah, but it technically, how do we know that you didn't do what you did?
Yeah, right.
Only person I could believe that has made that mark for real is Puffy, because he got Ciroc and it's selling out in every fucking state in the United States.
Yeah.
So Watermelon Ciroc sold out in every state this summer. So for him, I can say, Puff might be.
Yeah.
But the rest of that, I mean, okay.
So what do you think, since we're on that subject, NFL and Jay-Z, what do you think about that, Jay-Z NFL deal right now?
I just feel like really at the end of the day, everybody not being honest.
Are they ever honest?
I'm just saying, when you look at the situation, it's like, yeah, most of y'all that's all on J Dick is because y'all fans of Jay-Z, okay? Let's say that one. Okay, second of all, Atlanta the one made it look good for the Super Bowl to do all these shows. Atlanta should be goddamn controlling the music, because y'all ain't got more stars come out of New York or LA than Atlanta. So why Atlanta should not control it?
Yeah.
All right? All right, second of all, what the hell does the NFL got to do with kids getting shot in the hood? Nothing. This is nothing but smoke and mirrors. It was for another man to step in here. Hey man, what's up with you, man? Say them folk ain't. Hey man, well shit, that looked good what they did. So what you want to do? You want to take control of that situation. But the reason why you taking control of that situation is really being masked and bullshit to me, because at the end of the day, you doing the same thing that you knocked Jermaine for. Ebro up there in New York, with all y'all knocked the same position that he got, y'all knocked Atlanta and Jermaine for.
Yeah.
But now that Jay-Z got in there, it's cool. Man, come on, man. See, that's that shit we've been talking about since the beginning since the South and the North and been dealing with.
Yeah.
It ain't cool when we make it look cool, but then when you get it, then it's cool.
All of a sudden, it's
the same position. All you doing is going to get people to perform. So at the end of the day, I'm thinking you a businessman. Rock Nation controls the Super Bowl every year. Rock Nation gets to put their groups up there. Hey, man, that's control. That ain't got nothing to do with the police and us having a relationship with the police.
Yeah.
Man, that's fugazi, man. You just wanted to check. You wanted that title. That's cool, but Atlanta made it look good. Atlanta made it look good. And at the end of the day, bro, you ain't never put on, none of y'all ain't never put on no football outfit. So why should y'all be leading anything in the NFL?
Yeah.
Come on, man. The same way you was telling people not to mess with the NFL, but then you got people that you manage in the NFL. Now, come on, man.
Oh, because of the sports marketing thing, sports agency,
well,
whatever.
See what I'm talking about? So for me, I'm not dumb.
Yeah.
This was a play. And it's cool, you know what I mean? Other people can believe what they want to believe out of it. But hey, man, somebody performing ain't got nothing to do with our relationship with the police. This is bullshit to make y'all all get mad and all like woo, 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 woo.
Distract you from things.
Come on, man. It ain't got nothing to do with the streets. Football ain't got nothing to do with the streets. And how them people gonna treat us is, to me, a real revolution is everybody who putting on a football outfit walk off the field.
Yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do with us that's fans and musicians. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's football player. Well, are we forgetting about the 60s and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and all them guys?
Jim Brown,
all
Muhammad Ali.
Them boys were for real about it.
Yeah, that's true.
These young boys, they want the check. They feel like this. If I make it into the NFL and I make me a couple of million, man, I ain't even got to win the Super Bowl, man. In my life, I won the Super Bowl.
Because you getting out the hood, bring your family out the hood, man. You definitely changing generations.
These kids don't even care nothing about all them trophies. They want the money.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, what you controlling the stage or controlling entertainment, what they got to do with these kids getting killed? Come on, man.
And the big picture, nothing, right?
It's nothing, man.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, man, it's capitalism. Let's be real. It's capitalism. You want to control what you don't control.
Yeah.
And it's cool. But all I'm saying at the end of the day is
be honest.
Be honest about what you're talking about, because when a whole state was up there doing their New York thing, and man, them in Atlanta, man, they some cool, man. They perform for the NFL, but then as soon as he walk around here with a Rock Nation hat on, then it's cool.
Yeah.
Nah, sucker, we ain't going for that one. Go on back up the street, man. That's that shit we talking about. Country boy, we might talk slow, but we not slow, pimp. You might be getting it off because you got people that's fans of yours, but you gotta look at me, man, like, I'm not into praising people. Yeah. I'm not into praising man. I've been taught different. I didn't grow up like a kid from New York. I didn't grow up like a kid from West Coast. I grew up under a whole nother type of mentality. I grew up sitting in the neighborhoods with those people that you saw fighting them for civil rights. I saw Lowry in the street. I saw Young. I saw all the people that fought the Hosea. I saw the men, and them the men that made us feel like that when we went into rap music, we gonna talk about something real. See, we never could have went into the studio and talked about half the shit that was going on in the West Coast being from Atlanta. You couldn't go in the studio and talk about gangster shit, because them men would have told you that ain't cool.
Yeah.
That ain't what we doing around here. And if that's what you doing, we not allowing that.
So my question now, would you saying that the OGs would have checked you?
They would have checked us.
So now, why aren't you guys, the OGs, checking the youngsters that's doing it now?
But think about us. We cool with our youngsters.
Yeah.
We cool with the young thugs. We cool with the future us.
Yeah, he part of Dungeon family.
Future us. Future is one of the leaders of this whole shit going on right now. He will be remembered as one of the ones.
Yeah.
So when you look at that, you like, yo, man, we did our job, because look what we did. The Dungeon family made sure that Atlanta and the kids that come out of Atlanta, they're not going to be boxed in to have to be a gangster.
Yeah.
They're not gonna have to be boxed in to have to be, hey man, we Puff Daddy, or hey man, we Luke Skywalker. No, what we taught them is do everything. Cause remember now, in my era, I was Young Thug. I was the weirdo.
That's true with the pants and the jackets and
I was the one
outfits.
sitting in the room with all the gangsters from the West Coast and the East Coast and everybody looking at Gipp
with
like,
your space goggles and dreadlocks.
This nigga is weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta understand.
That's
like
real.
Some of my gangster partners, and I instantly became friends with Corrupt Dad, Snoop. I instantly became friends with all them. We met as kids. So just imagine me being as awkward as Young Thug then, but then cell therapy.
Yeah.
So me being like, yo man, you know why I did this? Cause it make you look, but at the same time I got something to say. You know what I mean?
That's why 3000 said the South got something to say at the Source
Come on,
Awards.
man. And look at these kids, man. Regardless if you could sit back and be like, yo, they weird. Yeah, but think about it. They weirdness right now is taking them to levels you will never go. Because if you just gonna stay right there in that little box you in, oh bro, you only talking to 5 people at this point.
Yeah.
The world ain't gangster like the world used to be gangster.
No.
Even Big would be gangster right now. Biggie Smalls would be a gangster rapper.
In theory, yeah.
And these kids around here don't want no trouble. Like, they don't want no trouble. They want money and party time and some girls.
Yeah.
Who got beef? So you think about it right now, that's why Cardi B is the biggest rapper. It's no beef, man. They don't want no beef.
Yeah.
They don't want that. That's why they trying their best to keep a certain type of hip hop in the underground, because they know that at the end of the day, once another one of these pops over here, hey man, that shit rises up.
Yeah.
Once, why it ain't been another 50 Cent from New York? They don't want that from New York. No, they don't want another 50 Cent from New York.
No, they don't.
They trying their best to find out what they want to represent from New York. I mean, A$AP Rocky represents New York, but New York wasn't really fucking with A$AP.
I mean, he sounded like he was from Houston, that's why.
But LA fuck with it. The South and LA fuck with it.
Yep.
So who fought at that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you look at it, it's like us as OGs, we got to accept these kids for what they are, who they are, and the time of day we living in.
That's true. Well, let's hold that thought right now. Let's get into some more music. Let's take it to your collaboration.
What's that?
Ali and Gipp.
Ali and Gipp.
Hard in the Paint.
Hard in the Paint.
That was a big record right there.
Nelly.
It sounded like y'all had some fun making that record.
We did have some fun. Recorded that record in Southside at Jermaine's studio in Atlanta, and it was a exciting piece of work because, first of all, Jermaine had did the beat. All of a sudden, Paul Wall showed up, and they was like, "Yo, Leezy and Gipp, we need y'all." And shoot, me and Leezy went in. That was like 2 takes, and it was done.
Y'all made some magic there. That's has to be one of your biggest songs.
Yeah, it is. 9 million records. Yep, one of them.
Wow.
Yeah,
and it still plays. I mean, you can still go out and about and hear that song still playing.
Yeah. I mean, just like the old guys say right now, they be like, "Man, all you need is one."
That's true.
All you need is 1 or 2, man,
that's
to
true.
take care of yourself. And then if you're doing shows and stuff like that, man, you learn how to budget and live on life, man.
Yeah.
It's the biggest thing about music to me is that I've had so many special songs that I might not have had a whole bunch of hit records that's been on the radio, but I think I've had a lot of records that'll stick with people for the rest of their life.
You've had a great career, and one thing that I appreciate about you, how real you are, but you have set some trends, and you and your crew have set trends that nobody really talks about, but they do every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the grill thing, like you was the one with a mouthful of all whites back in the days before it was trendy. Now you see, saying the Calabasas white kid with a set of golds in his mouth, trying to be trill.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And I just think about how much money I lost in grills. I probably did.
Do you look back on your legacy and just smile about what you guys have, what you have contributed to the game of hip hop?
Yeah, because I look at it like this. To come in the game with Biggie Smalls, Craig Mack, Tupac, Pimp them, and to come into this game with so many of the greats and then so many of my friends not being here,
yeah,
it's kind of like I can't be nothing but appreciative.
Yeah.
that I had a good run, man, good run. Like I look at they stuff. I was like, man, do y'all understand that we ran our town for almost more than 10 years?
Yeah,
like 15 years straight. So as far as me and the career thing, I mean, I did my thing, man. Like
you did.
I did my thing,
and you're still doing it.
Yeah, and it's fun, and it's fun, and I look at it like this, man. Like to be able to have an opportunity to do one last record with my brothers, Goodie Mob and Outkast is one group with L.A. Reid. Like that's my one, man. I get to record my brothers one more time, man. I ain't did me, man. I'm gonna go out somewhere and sit in the country, man. Sit on the pool.
So you telling us right now that you guys are doing a new album?
Yeah, we're gonna do a new album.
Let's get into all of this. So Goodie Mob as a group, as a whole, is working on a new project.
Yep, Goodie Mob as a whole is working on a new project. We shooting a video. Half the family shooting a video tomorrow in Atlanta. They shooting the new Big and Sleepy got a group called the Big Sleepover. It's featuring CeeLo Green. So, you know, they gonna get some of the old things tomorrow, man.
Really?
Yeah, we're going back into the stratosphere, the Nas Barkley and all that, man. That's what we going next.
That's dope.
You
That's
know what
dope.
I mean? So that's gonna be the first little intro into us coming back together as two entities.
And when is that album coming out?
Already working on it. Already working on that record. It should be like the top of the year, because one thing we want to do is make sure that we take our time with what we doing. Because at the end of the day, man, it's not really about rapping anymore. It's about really having something to say.
Yeah.
Having a real subject to talk about. You know, songs are songs, but when you're able to grab society and put it in song, man, those songs live forever.
That's true.
So with us, we gonna shoot at it one more time, man, and then we gonna run around this world one more time as a crew, and man, then we just gonna do what we do. You know, I can tell you this, you know, Gipp getting ready to launch the Gipp Goodies Cannabis brand.
Dope.
You know, along with my partners 3Cs. They also the owners of the real Moon Rock. So, you know, as far as me, just making sure that I expand my portfolio. You know what I mean? So
what made you want to get into cannabis? I mean, of course, you smoked it all,
well,
you know. But
I'm gonna be totally honest with you.
Yeah.
I got called to a studio one night. In Hollywood. Corrupt called me to the studio and he said, "Gippy, I want you to be on this mixtape." And this was the first time that Corrupt set me down in front of the computer, and he showed me Moon Rocks, the first commercial of Moon Rocks, when it was just a little rock, and then they was like putting the shit on it, and it was turning. And that was the first thing. He was like, "Yo, you got to be on my mixtape." And these guys, this is one of them right here, Teran.
Okay.
T. That was one of the original people that put Moon Rock together with Corrupt.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, you know, like that was the first time of me being introduced to it. At the same time, you gotta understand that Goodie Mob has always been close to Cypress Hill.
Yeah.
And we soul assassins, so we've always been around Dr. Green Thumb and watching what he was doing, and DJ Muggs and watching what they were doing. But you know, if you think about it, it's a trip, man. LA don't understand that y'all being able to be in this cannabis business, it's a trip for me, because every time I fly here, it's another world, because I can fly back to Atlanta and this shit, you go to jail for this shit.
Yeah.
Right now. I get a felony.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For what y'all go in the store and get out, you know, for free. You know what I mean?
Casually consuming, yeah.
You know, so for me, man, I just want to make sure that when this industry opens up in the South, see, that's the difference, and that's one thing that I'm gonna make sure of. And it's one thing that I'm not seeing out here in LA. I don't see a lot of us. I don't see minorities. I don't see a lot of us having the dispensaries or having the license to be able to be distribution. But at the same time, our people the one that went to jail for years and centuries about this.
That's true.
The brown and the black. So for me to come to LA, and it's not somebody of a minority background having actual license and actual dispensaries and actual being able to be distribution, it's a slap in the face. So me personally, I'm already down in Atlanta, already down in the capital, already fighting for us. Already,
I seen that. I seen that. That's dope.
And it was really about me getting involved with this because of my father. You know, not telling me he had cancer, and I was able to come out here, meet some people, and they was able to give me some of that RSO oil. And my father was on his deathbed. And I'm gonna tell you guys, man, I got that RSO oil. I jumped back on the plane and went back. When I got back to Atlanta, everybody on my father's floor had already died. My father, they told me there's nothing else they could do for my father. I took that RSO oil and I put it in his mouth, and he set up. The next morning, he hadn't eaten in 3 or 4 days. He got up in the morning, he said, yo, I want something to eat. And he said, you know, after he ate, he said, I want to go home. And he walked out of that hospital and lived for another 2 weeks.
Shit, that's dope.
And I know that's because of cannabis. So it's personal for me.
Yeah.
Like when, because I saw it work firsthand. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So for me, it's about making sure that once this thing come to Atlanta, because again, we got to understand that where I'm from, man, it's different. It's different. See, when they was talking about all these Popeye wars, well, let me let y'all know something. Hank Aaron damn near owned all the Popeyes and Church of Chicken in Atlanta.
I read that.
You know, Hank Aaron, a black man, owned everything in every hood because he took his baseball money a long time ago. Hank Aaron stayed down the street from Curtis Mayfield. They were very good friends, used to hang out in Atlanta on Campbellton Road.
Wow.
They both very much put their money into real estate. Hank Aaron went into chicken. Dude went into, and Curtis Mayfield went into buying houses around Atlanta. Wow. You know what I mean? So when you look at stuff like this, and I'm like, hey man, ain't no way the cannabis world gonna open up in the South, and we ain't holding no real license, a real distribution center. They got a black face on it. Ain't no way it can't come to Atlanta if it can't do that. So understand, that's why Gipp is out here. That's why Gipp is going to fight for it. And when you think of Atlanta, you think of us. So who better to be able to have one of those licenses to represent for Atlanta and the state of Georgia than Gipp? See, I don't need the hip-hop. I don't need the blessings of hip-hop and who's supposed to be the leaders. And I don't need that no more. That's for high school kids, man. I ain't really got any deal with the industry. Yeah. I'm looking away. I'm trying to figure out a way how to grow my neighborhood. See, it's like Gipp, they just gave me the key to my city. My city been there for 132 years. I'm the first black man to get a key from East Point.
Oh, wow, really?
The first black man to get a key.
Jeez.
My group, Goodie Mob, get a key from the city of East Point.
That's huge.
Bro, so for me, I'm going to continue doing what Goodie Mob always did.
Trendset.
Be available for these kids and trendset. Yeah. You know what I mean? Everything ain't got to be dealing with music, man.
That's true.
I'm cool. And where I'm from,
you graduated. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
I don't need 100, 200. I don't need $1 billion to live good where I'm from.
Yeah.
So for me personally, it's still about I'm from the good. The good die mostly over bullshit. And as long as I'm here, I got to strive, because if you take one O out, God is in every man of blackness.
That's
so
real.
That means I can't stop doing this. I got to keep doing it, and wherever it take me, that's where I got to go.
That's real.
I was raised by a man. I wasn't raised by the streets, and that's why I'm the way I think, and it comes off different to other people that maybe was raised different. But see, my thing is that people in my family, and I always had money, I always had land, I always had power. So for me, a lot of shit be fake to me.
Yeah.
It be new money. See?
They don't know how to act because they never had it.
When you've been around so many, people don't even know Andrew Young owned Belvedere. Zaga.
Really?
Andrew Young. So when you come and you start, and when you think about Bonner Brothers, and you think about so many people that we've had the actual conversations with, like, you gotta understand that when we moved into the second dungeon, Hank Aaron walked across the street and said, "Hey, welcome to the neighborhood."
Wow.
How you doing? I'm Hank Aaron.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, when we go places and we run into Dominique Wilkins and we run into Holyfield, you gotta understand, man, like, these people still walk Atlanta, man. Like, It ain't no one giant, nigga. It's a city of giants.
Yeah.
Nobody bows down to nobody.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't see in other cities. I don't see that because I see that it's almost like it can only be one. And then you think about it, when it's only one, when they get that one, it's over with. BMF.
Yeah.
No matter, 250 million in the street, it'll never be done again.
Yeah.
But that shows you again, you take the head off, then the body die. So with that, right now, just with me just being in the industry, I'm only here because I love doing it. I wasn't brought into music by rappers. I was brought into music by a lady named Jean Carn, who was an actual R&B singer in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
So for me, I've been going to I met New Edition in my neighborhood. I met Stevie Wonder. I met Peabo Bryson. I met so many of people that people went and seen. They was in my actual neighborhood. I met when New Edition came out with Cool It Now, their first single.
Yeah.
They was in my best friend front yard playing basketball, and they was opening up for Miss Carn in the islands. Cool It Now.
Wow.
So for me, my thing was never just about rap. It's always been about the business. Like, wow, and that wasn't just one part. As a child, her daughter had her birthday party with the Jackson 5 at Fulton County Stadium.
Damn.
So I met the Jackson 5. I met Michael Jackson when I was a child. So for me personally, I do music for a whole nother reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my reason will never be what rappers do rap for.
Yeah.
Because I didn't come in as I was never on a rap label. I was always around musicians.
Musicians, yeah. Yeah.
So that's why my journey is different. And that's why my love for hip hop will always be the same, man. I only seek the truth. I only seek the truth because one thing I do know, and y'all know this too, that when the system on your side and everybody in the building loving your music, everybody helping you win, it's all good. But Gipp say, hey man, I want to see you when it ain't all good.
Yeah.
Can you survive when
the chips is down?
When you ain't on the popular label.
Yeah,
and you don't got the A&Rs bringing you hit records with hit producers already, song put together.
With the unlimited budget.
Yeah, all you got to do is put the raps. Okay, shit, you see it right.
Yeah.
We'll see if you really survive. We'll see if you really about this music or you were just doing it because it was something to do and you were getting some money. But when nobody's messing with your name, can you still look back and say, I did something right?
Yeah.
See, it's a lot of artists gonna look back and say, damn, that's why it ain't nothing at the end, because I got it all in the beginning.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be like that for Goodie Mob and Outkast. We'll be here till when the world over, we'll be over.
To the end of time, huh?
But as long as we keep making sure that everything we put ourselves next to is something that's solid, we'll never die. That's one thing the kids and all the artists that come out of Atlanta, they say, hey man, I don't know what going on in y'all city, but around here, our OGs ain't never hated on us.
Yeah,
they told us to run.
That's true. So let everybody know, we'll get out of here now. Let everybody know where we can find you at, your social media and whatnot.
Social media, Gipp Goodie, and Gipp Goodies.
Gipp Goodies. And your cannabis is in stores now, like it's gonna be.
It'll be in the stores in the next 18. When it gonna be in the store? A month and a half. A month and a half. Gipp going live, 200 stores, man. And then what are we doing? We dropping new Goodie Mob, new Big Boy, Sleepy Brown, CeeLo. It'll be I got Cannabis TV shows coming. I got a family TV show coming. All kind of stuff coming.
So just go to your social media and you're going to have everything going to be up there. You're going to promote it, and we're going to promote it on our end as well, too. So
I love y'all, man.
Man, Gipp, it's an honor, man. It's a pleasure, man, because it's a lot of fake-ass dudes in the game or whatever. So you've been one of the realest that I've known. Like, when I hit you, you hit me back. So I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, man, because there's a lot of suckers out here, and you one of the real ones. So I appreciate that, man. So we're going to get into a solo joint.
What's that?
Stepping Out.
Hey, man, thing that's spin too.
Let's go, man. White Label Radio, DJ Info. Drop that shit.